The stories we present to you are based on real events. We have deliberately changed the names of people and sometimes places. Any resemblance to actual persons or events is purely coincidental. Music, Police Files, The Foundling. In the summer of 2001, in August, the beaches stretching from Rabat to Bouznika were packed. The heat had driven vacationers to the seaside. The forests of the Green Belt were dotted with vacationers' tents, mostly young people who spent the night singing and having fun. On the morning of August 15, just before dawn, one of the young men woke up in one of those tents. The man, who was scattered in the Green Belt, needed to relieve himself. As soon as he moved away from the tent and disappeared among the trees, he felt as if his foot had stepped on a body. At first, he thought he had tripped over the carcass of a dog or sheep, but upon closer inspection, he discovered it was the body of a young woman, almost naked. A young man quickly returned to the tent and woke his companions. The police were immediately notified. 15 minutes later, Brigadier General Al-Muati Abu al-Wakar, in charge of the duty service at the Tamara police station, arrived. News of the discovery of the body had already spread among the tents, so the Brigadier General cordoned off the crime scene and prevented anyone he deemed necessary to question from leaving the area. No identification documents were found with the body. The forensic doctor arrived, and after a preliminary examination, he recommended transferring the body to the municipal morgue for a more thorough examination. The public prosecutor's office was notified, and the body was taken to the morgue, while Brigadier General Abu al-Wakar and his team remained at the crime scene. They had to search an area of 1,000 square meters for anything that might expedite solving the mystery. The damp soil and the movement of vacationers altered the crime scene. Since the initial survey proved fruitless, the investigation was entrusted to Brigadier General Muhammad Shawashi, who ordered the use of a sand sieve, similar to those used in construction sites. His assistants sifted the soil to a depth of 10 centimeters, searching for any clues that might lead to the killer. After 3 hours of work, a condom was discovered, seemingly used recently. The sifting also uncovered a phone card in the morgue. The forensic doctor concluded that the woman had been strangled after being raped. Interrogating the residents of the tents scattered throughout the Green Belt yielded no results for the investigation, and examining the phone card also proved inconclusive. The condom was sent to the laboratory, and the results confirmed that the person who used it was the same individual who had raped the woman and likely killed her. A week later, while the search had made little progress not far from where the woman's body was found, a second woman's body was discovered. Like the first, she was nearly naked, and like the first, she had been strangled after apparently being raped. The forensic examination revealed that the second woman had a criminal record, having been arrested and prosecuted more than once for prostitution. This allowed investigators to focus their attention on the women who solicited clients on the beach. They often accompanied them to the nearby forest, where the dense trees in some areas provided almost complete concealment. Some of these women confirmed that they knew the murdered woman, just as they knew the woman whose body had been discovered a week earlier. Brigadier General Muhammad Shawashi saw the need to set a trap for the suspected killer, whom he believed to be one of those who came to the beach looking for a prostitute. The Brigadier General decided to assign one of his female inspectors to pose as a prostitute, and he chose a recent graduate of the Royal Police Institute. His choice was based on the fact that young inspector was not well known to the general public, and because of her excellence in wrestling and judo, she was capable of facing any challenger. When the matter was presented to the young inspector, she showed some hesitation, but the dean managed to convince her that what she would do might help save the lives of other women who might be targeted by the beach killer. The brigadier added that she would be closely surrounded by 4 of the most capable men and that she would be in constant contact with him and the 4 men, provided the plan was executed. Every evening, the young inspector stood on the beach road, imitating prostitutes. From time to time, one of the inspectors involved in the plan would stop by, pretending to be a customer, and take her into his car towards the forest. These movements convinced those around her that she was one of them. 3 days passed without the killer being caught. On the 4th day, while the inspector was on the sidewalk, one of her colleagues involved in the plan approached her. This time, he went on foot. As soon as he entered the forest, he sensed that someone was following them. They continued deep into the woods and then withdrew to a secluded spot among dense trees. Before he could even bend down, a powerfully built man with a thick beard, a shaved head, and wearing athletic clothes suddenly appeared. He held a rope and an iron bar. He ordered the man to retreat if he wanted to save his life and to leave him alone with the woman. He told him he would hang him if he didn't comply. The inspector feigned fear and begged him to release him and his fiancée. He replied that she was a whore who didn't deserve mercy. He told him to leave him with her if he wanted to live. 7:28 a.m. Life arrived. The inspector, playing the role of the terrified man, took a few steps. The bearded, bald-headed man was looking at him. Suddenly, quickly and forcefully, the inspector flipped over. In a flash, he knocked him to the ground and immobilized him. He was quickly handcuffed. The men who were positioned at the entrance to the forest were contacted. The man with the thick beard was taken to the police station and brought before Brigadier General Shawashi after his fingerprints were taken. They were on the Brigadier General's desk. A moment later, a handcuff with his picture was brought in. His name was Kador bin Abdul Wafi, born in Rabat on February 5, 1992, to unknown parents, and he lived on the Sidi Yahya Road in Tamara. The Brigadier General was surprised. 8:25 a.m. The speed with which he confessed to killing later, laboratory tests confirmed that a sample of his blood, found in a fluid on the condom and on the two bodies, belonged to him. He claimed he killed the two prostitutes in revenge against his mother, whom he never knew, and whom he said bore full responsibility for his existence and that his situation prevented him from achieving many of his dreams. These were his justifications. The dean concluded the proceedings, and the man with the thick beard was brought before the public prosecutor to be prosecuted for the premeditated murder of two women.